Eric and Lyle Menendez are going to get out of prison. I will bet a lot on that, and there's really no doubt in my mind after the most bizarre interview between Gavin Newsom and Ryan Murphy. Gavin Newsom has a podcast. He brought Ryan Murphy on this podcast, and I am telling you, it is so weird, it blew my mind. Now, I'm going to say up front, I think I'm a big fan of Ryan Murphy's. I think he's brilliant. He is the best at what he does. But Ryan Murphy created a fantasy documentary about the Menendez brothers with all sorts of different scenarios of what might have gone on in the house. It was a fantasy. And Gavin Newsom has him on his podcast, the Gavin Newsom podcast, and asks him, so do you think the Menendez brothers should get out? Gavin Newsom is a month away from making a decision on the freedom of the Menendez brothers. There is a parole board hearing at his behest to determine if they are a risk, if they're let out, and if they've been rehabilitated. It is Gavin Newsom's decision almost a month from today. And he is sitting with Ryan Murphy talking about what does Ryan Murphy think about letting him out? And Ryan Murphy then gets into, well, you know, Kim Kardashian, she happens to be the most famous person on the planet, woman. And, you know, she got an advance copy of my docudrama. And she was just obsessed with it, and she met with them. And they're talking like this is what Gavin Newsom is listening to in making his decision. Let me tell you what the reality here is. I have been around long enough. It is so obvious. Gavin Newsom has already made his decision. He's going to let him out unless the parole board comes back and says they're not fit, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the parole board's going to give him a clean bill, and I think Gavin Newsom is going to let them out. And I think the reason that he had Ryan Murphy on this podcast is cover, that Gavin Newsom wants cover, that Ryan Murphy is in the zeitgeist of the public right now. And the public gets its information from Netflix. So they watch the Menendez brothers documentary, Monsters, and a lot of people got interested in it. Gavin Newsom is going to run for president. He wants cover. Ryan Murphy gives him cover. You think it was just, an off-the-wall question, and he said, so what do you think? Do you think the Menendez brothers should get out? And he said, yes. Why do you think Gavin Newsom asked him that question? Gavin Newsom knew the answer to that. They knew each other long before. Gavin Newsom knew the answer to that. He wanted Ryan Murphy on his podcast to say yes, because everybody else, not everybody, but a lot of people got their information about the Menendez brothers from his docuseries. And Gavin Newsom knows the public is almost 50-50, half in favor of letting him out, half against. Gavin Newsom's going to run for president. He wants that cover. He got cover from Ryan Murphy. He got cover from Kim Kardashian, whom Ryan Murphy mentioned. Last thing I want to say is this. You know, Gavin Newsom says he hates Donald Trump privately. And I will tell you, and I know this, that when he uses the word Trump, it is usually preceded with the F-bomb. I know this. He does. A lot. So does he really hate Donald Trump? Well, maybe. But guess what? They, in some ways, are birds of a feather. That they both are using these tools. I mean, Donald Trump was probably elected because he went on Joe Rogan, because he went on Theo Von's podcast, because he talked to Megyn Kelly. I think that's a big reason why Donald Trump was elected. Gavin Newsom has a podcast. Gavin Newsom is doing the same thing. He's talking to people on the right. He's moderating his stance. He's talking to Ryan Murphy about letting the Menendez brothers out when he's supposed to make this decision. So Gavin Newsom is working on podcasts and Ryan Murphy. Donald Trump is putting octagons on the South Lawn. They're not that different in terms of what they're both trying to do, which is to act as populists. And, you know, on a level, it kind of impresses me because they figured out how to cut through politics. But they are more similar than either one would ever admit publicly.